one of the things that we really want to focus on in these town hall meetings is to bring City Hall to you. So let me introduce a couple of leaders here in our room so that after the meeting, if you have questions, you can ask them directly. We have several of our city council members here. In the back, our Vice President Keith Bird, Councilman Luke Kavanagh, Councilwoman Genesis Milam, and Councilmember David Zaremba. So we also have our chiefs here. Oh, there you are. Our police chief, Jeff Levy. Our fire chief, Mark Niemeyer, is in the back. Our city attorney sitting next to him, Bill Neri. We have our community development director right here, Bruce Chatterton. Our HR director, Patty Perkins. Also, she's hiding. Sit behind Rita. Our city clerk and our information services director, J.C. Coleman. Rita Cunningham is here representing our finance department. And I think the others you'll be introduced as they come up to address you. So I will apologize in advance. My daughter's birthday party is tonight. So I'm going to leave a little bit early, and I hope you understand. But we always tell our employees family first, and so I'm going to practice that tonight and do family first. So I'm so thrilled that you're spending your evening with us. Thank you to the Boy Scouts there in the back. We always love to see our scouts and are excited that they actually get to earn something by coming and listening to these things. And so that's always good. And I do know we have some high school students here as well, hopefully getting extra credits. Yes. So thank you all for being here, and without any further ado, am I turning this over to you? I'm turning it over to our Director of Funds, Steve Siddle.
Thank you. So as the Director of Fund, I get to talk about the fun part of tonight. And I want to talk about the top 10 ways to enjoy Christmas in Meridian this season in 5 minutes or less. So here we go. Number 10, out in front of City Hall, there is a little free library starting December 1st through the 31st. They're going to be filled with Christmas books. So you can take a book, bring a book, come and check that out. Also out in front of City Hall is Santa's mailbox. Little ones can write a letter to Santa, drop it off in Santa's mailbox, and receive a response. That is available December 1st through the 18th. Downtown, there is a business decorating contest December 1st through 4th. That'll be on proud display during the parade, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. The City Hall Christmas Bazaar in City Hall is on December 4th at 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can come to City Hall on the first floor. There in the main conference rooms right inside the door. There'll be a craft fair. You can come and purchase some gifts. And the bake sale. The Winter Lights Fun Run is a new item this year. It's right before the parade, say 6:20 p.m. It's a fun run for families. It will start at Story Park and run to Generations Plaza just ahead of the parade that we'll be following. And that's being sponsored by Pulse Running and Fitness this year for the first time. The big event that everyone wants to know about is the Winter Lights Parade and tree lighting. Last year, for the first time, we changed this from a Saturday afternoon parade to a Friday night nightlight parade. It's really cool. You should come and bring your families and see the lights, and we got lots of free hot chocolate sponsors, and everybody loves a parade. The tree lighting in Generations Plaza is happening as right at the end of the parade. Santa's float comes last. He will then get off and join us in the tree lighting in Generations Plaza. The parade route, if anyone's interested, is on the backside. So it's a little different this year. Last year we had quite a bit of traffic issues when the cars couldn't get through the split corridor through downtown. That will remain open this year, and there is a new route, but it still goes through the heart of downtown. The Holiday Classic Volleyball Tournament is a benefit where we will be buying toys for needy children in the Meridian community. That is at Heritage Middle School on December 6th. And then another favorite that we've been doing for the last several years is the Children's Winterland Festival. It is at City Hall. There's toy building workshops, lots of different crafts, activities for kids to come and do at City Hall on Saturday, the 6th, right after the parade, the day after the parade. So. The Meridian Symphony Orchestra concert is that night, and it's at Centennial High School Performing Arts Center. And Mayor, you're going to be leading the sleigh ride song as tradition. So come and watch the mayor lead Meridian Symphony, and it's a great Christmas concert. Number 10 has nothing directly to do with me and everything to do with you, and that is that we would just ask you to keep others in mind this Christmas season. Find someone that's in greater need than you and lift them up, and I promise you'll be lifted in the process. So let's think outward this season, and I hope everyone has a great and safe holiday season. Before I step down and turn it over to the police department, though, can I answer any questions about any of these activities? Yes?
Is the mayor having Costco cake at her house tonight, or is it just buttercream frosting?
Stop!
No, I'm sorry, we're going out.
All right, I'm gonna pass.
Yes.
Is there a sign up for the fun run?
There is a sign up for the fun run. It is online. Should put the actual website on here. But if you go to meridiancity.org and go to Parks and Rec, you will find a link there. And if you can't find it, call us at 888-3579. We will make sure you connect to it. Yes. Anything else? I think yes.
I understand you're going to have a new park somewhere near Linder and Cheney. Am I right?
Linder. Linder 10 Mile. No. Real quickly, our next major parks, we own property out in Cherry Lane near McDermott. We think our next major park is actually in South Meridian. We talked about this in South Meridian Town Hall earlier this summer. But we own 77 acres in South Meridian that we look forward to developing in the coming years. We're working on other partnerships. There will be a couple of neighborhood parks built not far from here. 10 Mile between McMillan and Chinden in the Bainbridge subdivision, there is a park. And then closer down towards Houston, there is a neighborhood park about 8 acres that will be developed down there in the next few years. The ribbon cutting on Monday, last Monday, we did a ribbon cutting on 8th Street Park, which is one of our oldest parks. We were ribbon cutting on some brand new amenities, a new park, a new playground, a new restroom, and a new picnic shelter that had been added to that park that was originally opened in 1955. Had some outdated playground equipment, no restroom. It's now much more usable for the neighborhood thanks to some new amenities that we got added out there. And a pathway connection, yes. So I think today it officially changed from fall to winter, and that's even going to become more apparent tomorrow with the snow that we hear is coming. So we're gearing up for that. But with that, I thank you for your time, and I will turn this over to you, Ken. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ken Corder. I'm the community liaison for the City of Meridian, and I will act as your MC tonight. To kickstart our presentations from the police department, I'd like to introduce Detective Craig Fawley, speaking on fraud protection.
Good evening. I've been with Meridian Police Department about 18 years, and I've been working in fraud cases since 2004. And that's always been my passion, and it really matters when people get their money stolen. It's a pretty big deal.
Can everyone hear?
Everybody hear that okay? I can project. One thing I want to talk to you about, because it's really big in the news right now, is the data breaches that are going on. It seems every month we hear about another data breach that's occurring. And I found a website through the Identity Theft Research Center that identifies in 2014 there's been 644 data breaches with 78 million records exposed. Probably most everyone in here has had their records exposed. You either get a letter from your bank or a store that you frequent. Something like that indicates you could be at risk. So it's relevant to all of us. And I want to talk to you a little bit about how it happens. The biggest way right now is malware. There's some really smart people that they're pretty sure live in Russia or Ukraine that develop this code. Now they're not the ones doing this because that exposes them to a little more risk. They sell it to crooks. The crooks then are really smart, and they find a way to get into like a major retailer like Home Depot through a back door, through a vendor, something like that, install their malware on the system, then they're collecting all this information. Every time you swipe your card, they get that. Sometimes they get more information, sometimes less, but that's what's happening. You can also find it through skimming devices on gas pumps. We don't see that as much. If you look at the breakdown for how it's occurring, the vast majority now is through malware. When we first came across this, we were totally befuddled. We were going, how are they getting all this? We just didn't understand. Another risk level is employees. If you have a business that has people's identifying information or financial information, you need to have policies and protocols in place to protect them. And that's kind of a whole separate entity, but we do see that. We had a victim here whose identity had been stolen multiple times. When they finally tracked it down, the suspect was a former IRS employee who was stealing information. Okay, that's pretty damaging. It's rare, but you can see what that does to your organization if you are the lead. So we can talk individually sometime if you'd like some more information on how to protect your clients. Once you get your really smart people to develop the code, you get your really smart people that install the code and collect the information. What they do then is they bundle it, and they package it, and they sell it. So I could go out and buy 1,000 credit card numbers for a certain price, and it's probably less than you would think. You can buy 1,000 full identities for a certain price. And that price probably goes up and down, and that price varies on how reliable your information is. Because if you buy from somebody and that relation turns out none of the card numbers work, you can't stay in business. So these people package it up and they sell it to people. Sometimes they package it up and sell it to people just like any distribution system. And there's websites where you can go and purchase this information. And I know that because what we catch on our end is the travelers, the end product users of the stolen information. We'll talk about them in a minute. But, so they get their information and they travel around. One of these groups get their information from a website. We got a search warrant, searched the phone, we found hundreds of logins to this website that I didn't recognize, so I did some research on the website. It's where you buy stolen credit card numbers. Now, in order to be a member of this website, you have to have somebody vouch for you in two ways. One, first, that you are a genuine crook. So somebody has to step up and say, this guy's a crook, he's a bad dude. But the second part of that is, while being a bad dude, he is trustworthy. And he's not going to cheat you, even though he's stealing from everyone else. So it's kind of you got to be a trustworthy crook to be part of these successful networks. When you use your swipe your credit card or your debit card, it's a complex system. I'm not going to try and explain to you unless you want to be here until midnight. But it goes through lots of processes and lots of processors. Any one of those points could be where your data is stolen. It used to be somebody would say, somebody used my debit card in Texas and it's in my wallet. And I know it was that guy at the convenience store because he had a shifty left eye. He looked at me funny. So I know he's the guy that did it. Well, it's not like that. It could have been stolen 6 months ago, resold until finally somebody uses it. So the funds go through lots of processes. Right now, the malware is typically attacking large retailers. What you get at the end result is often a spreadsheet with a name, an account number, maybe date of birth, depends on how much you want to pay for and how much they have. What they do then, the bad guys that we catch are the travelers. And we have a passion for catching travelers in this valley. We work very closely with the Boise Police, Nampa Police, the Secret Service, the FBI. When travelers come into town, they're bringing stolen credit card information. They either emboss the numbers onto a card, or they can actually code it on the back. You can go to Office Depot or any retail store and buy the code machines. They come in, they swipe the cards, or they hand key it in. Well, we figure out what's going on, and we contact everybody that provides them services, and we figure out where they're at, and we do a really good job catching them. And but they're just the end users. They're getting their information from somewhere else. What they typically buy is gift cards, which they sell at a discount to get the cash, or they might buy a lot of retail stuff. We're seeing more of the gift card purchases because with retail you got a lot of stuff to carry. Probably 5-6 years ago, myself and my partner arrested traveling crew of shoplifters. They had $70,000 worth of merchandise. Now I can tell you what that looks like. It pretty much fills up a room like this, and so they have to transport that around. Whereas if we catch a group of travelers with 350, 400 gift cards worth $30,000, $40,000, that's easy to carry. That fits in a fairly small package. So that's why this is so popular now, and one of our primary why we get the travelers coming through and they're going after gift cards. So what do? Right now the Christmas season is coming up. Most of you will probably use your cards a little more than normal because you're gift buying. Okay? All year long, what you need to do is be monitoring your accounts. If all you do is check your accounts through your paper, thing they mail you once a month, that's great for the bad guys because that gives them, depending on when they hit you and when you get your statement, maybe a 30-day head start. Okay? So monitor your accounts. Monitor them online. Check them every few days. And if you see that purchase in Texas and you've never been to Texas, you need to alert your bank right away. Follow what they want you to do with their institute, with their policies, and how they want to handle it. People often ask me, what's the safest way to make transactions? Well, I would say cash, but if you have cash, if you lose it or get robbed, it's all gone. You have inherent protection through using an FTC or financial transaction card. I can tell you that if you use a debit card and your account gets hit, they may freeze your account temporarily while they get it sorted out. You do your paperwork. Okay, if it's July, that might not be such a big deal. But if you're coming into the Christmas season and your account is frozen, that can be an inconvenience. Be aware of the possibility of skimmers. If you see something on a point of sale that doesn't look quite right, point of sale terminal, or where you slide your card, that used to be the main way they got the numbers, but that's kind of old-fashioned now. We mainly see that when they can get inside the device and put it where you can't see it. So it's pretty hard to find the skimmers. And we do have them active in the area. We just found a couple in some fuel station pumps. We didn't, but I think Boise Police did. So that's a very real possibility as well. The other thing I want to hit on real quickly here, because we're in limited time, is protecting our loved ones that are older. And some of the scams that are hitting seniors. And that can happen any time of the year, but this is one of my passions, is helping protect our seniors. We're going to cover this real quickly. One of the big things we see is the grandparent scam, and it works something like this. The senior citizen's phone rings, they pick it up and somebody goes, "Grandma?" And the first thing that the person thinks of is, "Billy? Yeah, this is Billy. I've been arrested." It's called social engineering, and they're very, very, very good at it. They pick up the subtlest hints of where to direct that conversation. What they typically do is convince the person that their grandson or granddaughter has been arrested. Please don't call mom and dad. And they're usually out of the country, usually in Canada or Mexico. Don't call mom and dad. I'd be so embarrassed. Okay, I won't. What do I do? Well, here, talk to the officer. They right away hand them off to another fraudster who's the officer. And it works because these guys are good at it. They hone their skill. The officer says, well, he needs $3,000 bail to get out of jail. And man, this is a rough jail here. I can't guarantee their safety. I'd give that money to us as soon as you can. Well, how do I do that? Western Union, MoneyGram, or Green Dot cards. Okay? And once that happens, that money is gone. There is no way we can recall it. Okay? So that's why it's so important that you educate people about the grandparent scam. We still see that several times a year. Someone gets hit by it. They're very good at it. And people are embarrassed to admit when it happens to them, but man, they're good. They're really good. The other thing that I see a lot of, and we, a couple of years ago, in one 3-month period, I counted almost $250,000 had flowed through our community, through the city of Meridian, in a lottery scam targeting seniors. And so a couple things to look for in the lottery scam. Number one, if you didn't buy a ticket, you didn't win. Okay? They convince these people through either email or letters, because a lot of our seniors still deal primarily with mail. That's what they do. And so through letters or through email or through phone calls, they convince them they want a foreign lottery and they need to prepay the taxes. A couple things to look for is people become very secretive.